go. Hi everybody and welcome to a very special Big Brother Over the Top live feed recap show. If you guys want to see any of these shows back, they are over at yourrealityrecaps.com/BBOTT. And if you want to know where the flashbacks are for flashback times, they're over at yourrealityrecaps.com/BBOTT flashbacks. Of course, you can get 24/7 live feed updates over at not Your Reality Recaps, at BBOTT live feeds on Twitter. Now, the most important thing that I have to tell you guys is if you want to help support our shows, consider becoming a patron at yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. You get weekly only patron shows, you get prize giveaways each week for patrons, and access to the patron only Facebook group, or you can do one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal, or you can subscribe right here in YouNow at younow.com/realityrecaps, where we do these shows live. You get special messages and little fun stickers, little Eric stickers, and a little badge for YouNow. And you get to watch all of the YouNow shows back, not just the ones that I put on the website. So those are all great ways to support our shows. So now, let us talk. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about what has happened, or I'm going to talk about what happened. I'm going to do our quick little recap, and then I'm going to weigh in with all of you guys and see what the chat room is thinking about what's happened. So first, let's recap where we last left off. So when we last left off, we were putting in our votes for the third nom. We said, vote Morgan if you were team Misfit. Vote Danielle if you were team Plastic. And turns out lots of people team Plastic, because it was Danielle that ended up getting the third nom this week. And I just have to say, I'm just going to say, I don't want to say I told you so, but I'm just saying, Misfit fans who thought this was going to help the Misfits, you're wrong. Told you so. Now the Misfits don't have the numbers. But don't worry. There's a plan in place, and we'll talk a little bit more about what the plan is in a second. So, after the third nom ceremony, my favorite part of the fallout from this morning was Queen Neely spilling the tea. Literally spilling tea. She was like, stupid cornbread, muffin head, corn top, potato face, full of shit, cracker your ass so full of shit you don't even know what you're doing. I'll kill you in your sleep. And I was like, oh my god. Shimmy shimmy. Shimmy shimmy is my new phrase. Neely also coined this morning shimmy shimmy. All those people shimmy shimmying in the bathroom. It's like the new cockroaches. Shimmy shimmy is like the new cockroaches. I love shimmy shimmy. I like shoo shoo, but I like shimmy shimmy more. Shoo shoo, you dig? But no, I don't dig. I shimmy shimmy. So now I am a fan of Neely's shimmy and shimmy. Okay, moving on over to the POV that just happened a little while ago. It was a knockout comp where they had to do puzzles. Our precious little Scott first had to choose which veto he was going to play for. We all knew already he was going to pick the double veto. So it was a knockout where you had to do puzzles. And you know who killed the competition? Alex. Alex could do puzzles in a second. She could just look at the puzzle and do it. It was like magic. Alex knocked out Chrissy. And then Danielle knocked out Scott. And then Alex knocked out Neely. And then we get to the first point of drama for the POV. So, basically, The only players left in the game were Justin, Alex, and Danielle. So, and it was Justin's turn to go. So he got to pick who he was going to play against. He could either he could either play against Alex or Danielle. And P.S., because it's double veto and the last two people get a veto, had whoever he doesn't pick gets one of the vetoes. So it would have made sense that he would have picked Alex to go against to make sure that Danielle got a veto. But he didn't. He picked Danielle and knocked her out of the competition. So the POV winners ended up being Alex and Justin, which caused Danielle to have another breakdown, a crying in the bushes a la Rachel Riley breakdown. And then she ran to the DR and they wouldn't let her in. And then all of you playing the trash draft, we got a lot of blanketing. So all people that wanted blanketing points, you got them today with Danielle. Oh, you got your Danielle blanketing points today. Meanwhile, Danielle is having a breakdown in her bedroom, and the plastics are dancing up a storm in the kitchen, but they did not know. They did not know that the Misfits were still outside. They stopped jumping up, celebrating, like 3 seconds before Shane and Jason and I think Neely and Chrissy walked in. And I was like, ooh, this is a nail biter. I hope they walk in on this. It's going to be fireworks. But it didn't. Now, for all of you asking, here is what the plan is at the moment. Or actually, I'll do this. Maybe our little cheat sheet here is going to help all of you. So basically, Alex and Justin won POV. You already know that Scott has the care package. This is the cheat sheet that's always up on our website, by the way, at yourrealityrecaps.com/BBOTT. This cheat sheet is there, as is the schedule, if you guys want to know what time things happen. But back to said cheat sheet. So they won the POVs. Now, here is what Scott is going to do. He made the plan in the HOH earlier, unless things have changed in the last hour, which we're almost wrapped. This is the end of our recap, and you guys can let me know if anything's changed in the last hour. But here is Scott's plan at the moment. He is telling, oh, yes, it did. Well, let me tell you what the plan was first, then you can tell me how it's changed. He was going to have Alex not use the POV, have Justin use the POV, remove Chrissy, and put up Shane. And then all of the plastics were going to vote Shane and vote Shane out. Okay, so Miss TV says the plan hasn't changed. They're still doing that. So such is our chat room. I personally heard Scott say, Shane is the target. He wants Chrissy to come down. He wants Shane to go up. He only wants Justin to use the POV, not Alex. And then all of the Misfits will do it. But the Misfits are trying to take Danny out. It doesn't matter. The Misfits don't have the numbers. The Misfits do not have the numbers. So it doesn't matter what the plan is. Shane is definitely the target. Now, I believe Stein and Nitz brought up a really good point on Twitter. What if Alex goes first at the POV ceremony and she goes, I'm not using the POV. And then it's Justin's turn to go, where he's supposed to take down Chrissy so that Shane can go up, and Justin goes, yeah, I'm not using the POV either. Ooh, that would cause quite a commotion. I mean, now, I doubt Justin will do that. We all wanted to give Justin the benefit of the doubt. I put up a poll earlier, and asked you guys, do you think that Justin just didn't know what he was doing when he picked to go up against Danielle? Or do you think he was siding with the Plastics over the Misfits? I have to say, after listening to Justin explain it to Jason, Neely, and Chrissy, he knew what he was doing. He purposely chose Danielle. He knew what he was doing. His goal, in his mind, was to keep Chrissy and Neely safe. He doesn't really care about Danielle. He would prefer if Danielle went. And he also doesn't want to look good to the other side of the house. But it is a very dangerous game. It is a very dangerous game. Look at Andy Herron. Look at Steve Moses. Look at Paul. When you allow people in your alliance to play both sides the way that Justin is being allowed to play both sides now, that's usually the person that gets far in the game. It's good on a social level, and it's good for their game. It's usually not good for anyone else in the alliance. Jason needs to be doing more of playing that other side of the house the way Justin is. So, that's kind of like where things are at this moment in the house. King of Truth says Plastics are going to lie to the other side and say they're taking Danielle out. Correct. But, Scott says he's doing this big speech that's going to make it really clear that Shane is the target. I also heard the Plastics say they're not going to tell anyone on the other side of the house what they're doing because they want to keep fostering this infighting between the Misfits. I ultimately think what will happen, Scott loves to give a speech. He thinks his speeches are great. He is going to give a speech tomorrow and make it clear that he wants Shane to go, and Shane will be the one who ends up going. That is my feeling as to what is happening. It will be a tied vote. Okay, the only thing I wish I could do on this show is do this cheat sheet where I can mark people off. All right. Let's try and figure this out for 1 second together. So, let's say Shane is up instead of Chrissy. So if Shane is up instead of Chrissy, the people then that are voting is Alex, Morgan, Whitney, let's say for their side, and then on our side, it would be Chrissy. Oh no, they have 4. They have Morgan, Alex, Whitney, Shelby. We have Chrissy, Jason, Justin. So I don't get how you're saying it's tied. It's not tied. Misfits will only have 3 votes. Chrissy. Oh, and America. You're assuming America is going to vote the way we want it to vote. Do you think they will? I don't necessarily think America will. I don't think anybody in America is going to understand why they have to vote for Shane. I mean, I would like it. We're going to do that show on Tuesday. On Tuesday, which is tomorrow, on Tuesday, we will be doing our strategy show like we always do with our live chat room polling. Thanks to Dancing Amy, we can now do polls live during the show. We will figure out what you all want, and we will put out our endorsement again for who to give the vote to. But we won't know until after the POV ceremony tomorrow. So we'll have to do it after the POV ceremony tomorrow. Amber Y says, America needs to vote out Danny to have Scott break the tie, right? Correct. America would have to vote Danielle out, assuming that all the Plastics are going to vote Shane like they promised Scott they would. Then we as America would have to vote Danny in order to push a tie. But It doesn't matter because if it's a tie, Scott is sending Shane home. There's really no way we can save Shane in this scenario. Either way, Shane goes home. So, honestly, I'm all for throwing a vote to cause chaos in the house. I say, let's throw a vote at, not Shelby. Shelby's already a target. Let's throw a vote at Morgan and create some Morgan paranoia. It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter if we tie it. Might as well throw some paranoia into the house. I promise to have a pick for the next chat. Great. Dancing Amy says Neely would be our only other option. We can only vote for the nominees. Oh, we can only vote for the nominees. That's stupid. Come on, CBS. Let us throw in a hinky vote. Yeah, I guess then it's going to be Danielle. But, I mean, look. There's still a long time between now and the POV ceremony. So I don't necessarily on this show want to strategize where our vote should go. We will strategize where our vote should go tomorrow after the POV ceremony. This show, let us talk about the drama that has gone down today, what we are thinking about Justin, what we thought of the POV, and I will take all of your questions, chat room, as well. I will also add in a mild special announcement for those of you that care. This show will go for about another 40 minutes. Then when this show ends, I would say probably in an hour or two later, I will be coming back on live again for another late night Just Fan show. Not necessarily about Big Brother, just a hanging out fan show tonight, probably around 10:30. So I just wanted to throw that out there too for people who like those shows. But back to Big Brother, Kathy S. says, Justin is using everyone in the BB house to his advantage. You're correct. He's playing the game. And he's playing it well. Because nobody's calling him out on that. That shit would not fly with me, although I would try and play a Justin game, but that would not fly with me if, let's say, if I was Jason in the house. If I was Jason in the house, I would be saying to Justin and to the other people in the Misfits Alliance, you know, Danielle got put on the block by America. You just made a move to protect yourself instead of the Alliance, and now you're upstairs hanging out with all of them. It seems shady. You can play your own individual game, totally fine, but you need to play it a little better, because you're publicly fucking over your Alliance. That's what I would say if I was a member of the Misfits to Justin right now. But none of them seem to really be worrying about it other than Danielle. BB Princess is over. Justin, I knew you would be. Is BBOTT considered successful for CBS? Yeah. I think it is. Hi to Wana. I think Jason wants to throw himself under the bus, maybe. I think Jason will wake up this week. I'm not necessarily saying Jason is playing the game bad. I think Jason knows it would come off very insincere and phony if all of a sudden he just became best friends with the other side of the house and was up in the HOH, shimmy-in. If he was up in the HOH, shooing with the other side. I think he's doing it slowly. Whereas in his season, he would have gone out of his way to ignore the other side of the house. He would have left a room if the other side of the house was in it. He went to Morgan and said, hey, keep me in the loop. I think we're all going to be doing the same thing this week. He talks to them when they come into rooms. He doesn't leave. I think a lot of people are painting Jason as he's not doing enough with the other side. This was his mistake that he made last season. I really don't agree. I think he's doing it more subtle, but I don't think it's fair to say he's not doing it. He is. He's just trying to not come off as phony the way he's doing it. The comps are bad. Okay? TP4Nat says, I think Justin is trying to play with the plastics. I think Justin's loyalty is to Neely and Jason. King for Tooth said Scott wants Jason's cigarettes. That's correct. Jason made a great point earlier today, and he said, I'm Scott's convenience store. He doesn't want me to go because I give him cigarettes. And that's currency in the Big Brother house. And I agree with him. Cigarettes, food, those things are currency in the Big Brother house. So aside from the fact, Jason also has Alex, and Alex more so than Scott, but Alex and Scott are both protecting Jason. If you guys watch the conversations that were being had in the HOH room today, there were a few times where Jason's name was brought up, and Alex would always throw out, that's stupid to go after Jason right now. Like, Alex would always just kind of like throw out the suggestion of, no, don't go after Jason now. And Scott, by not putting Jason up and focusing the target on Shane, is also kind of keeping Jason safe. So I think both of them know most of America wants Jason to do well in this game, and they're trying to remain on Jason's good side. I may be wrong, but I kind of think that's what's going on. Rachel M says, it seemed like Jason was trying to convince Justin that there's a possibility he could be put up if he uses the veto, i.e., don't use it. Yeah, I agree with that. It would be great. I would love it if Alex doesn't use the veto and then Jason does. And then Justin does. But Justin just beat out Danielle in that POV comp. I don't, in a way, to show some sort of an alliance to the plastics. I don't see him flipping right back around and stabbing them in the back. That would put a target on his back with all of them, which is what he was trying to avoid by not throwing it and giving it to Danielle. So I don't see him doing that. Kimoto says, Justin on slop could take down the plastics. No food. Yeah, I mean, we could see. Blonde Shell says, I trust Jason. Isn't he taking Chrissy down? Yes. The plan that Scott would like to happen, but remember, we still have a whole day into the POV ceremony, but as of right now, the plan that Scott would like, in a best case scenario, is that Alex does not use her POV, and that Justin does. And when Justin uses it, Scott will remove Chrissy and put Shane on the block. All of the plastics will vote for Shane. Shane will go home. Thank you very much for the bars, Ali C and Jenny G. I very much appreciate that. Thank you very much. That would be the smart move. Of course it would be the smart move, Blonde Shell. Maximus Mom says, my slap. You guys are already planning your slap for next week, and I have a feeling it's emotional. Look at what playing emotional got us this week. We're losing a misfit for playing emotional. Who determines which veto player goes first? Asked Dee Dee. What a great point. The person who chooses is production. And just like everything else this season, it's one of their little fail-safes. CBS and production has a lot of fail-safes. There is an illusion that we're in control, and there is an illusion that we hold all the power. We don't. There is stuff like we don't know who's going to get to go first. So when there is this clear wrench that can be thrown into the plan where both vetoes might not be used depending on who goes first, production controls the power then of who goes first. Just like when it's a number guessing POV and they don't tell us what the number is, production then can choose the winner. So I think there's little fail-safes built in. Do I think it's going to happen? No. I think there's no way Justin is going to stab all the plastics in the back at this point. He already has misfits doubting him. He's going to then turn around and go against the other side of the house and have all those people going after him. It would just be a dumb move. It'd be a very dumb move. CBS doesn't want to lose their showmans. Let's see what they'll do this week, says Puppy Glitter. You know, last season of BB-18, if it taught me anything, it taught me maybe production is not saving who we want. There were countless times last season where we thought for sure production was going to save the person we all wanted saved, and it didn't happen. So will that carry over into this season? I don't know. So far, my theory is that POV that Jason won that kept him in the game week 1 seemed very convenient to me. So it seems like maybe production would have wants Jason to stay in. But you're right. We'll see what happens this week. If the showman somehow magically gets saved this week, it'll be very interesting. My gut tells me the showmans will not be saved. BB-18 was the worst. Agreed. Yes, they want the sisters twist. I don't know why. They don't play up the sisters twist. Jody says, no, it's not popular, but they aren't for the feedsters. Yeah, they don't really seem to be. I mean, Danielle flat out threw a temper tantrum today. She was kind of like, I don't understand why Justin couldn't just throw it to me and blah, blah. And the feed watchers did not like that. The feed watchers did not like Danielle's temper tantrum today. I feel like I'm in class. I feel like I could get an A. Well, much like college, your teacher can be bribed. Bars. The only way the showmance would be saved would be Neely going home, says Redheaded Michelle. I agree. Danny will be the third nom. You think Danielle will continue to be the third nom next week? I don't think so. Do any house guests suspect the sisters at this point? No. Jason did in the beginning, and then he's just let it go. He's just let it go. Dee Dee says, Danielle was very upset that America put her up and doesn't understand what she did. Well, I'm sure people will let her know when she gets out of the house. Plastic did say if the veto wasn't used, they'd send home Neely, says Rachel. Okay, that must be new. Maureen, thank you very much for the bars. Danny is so narcissistic to assume Justin should have just thrown the comp. I don't think she's narcissistic in thinking that. I really don't. I think she's feeling hurt, as some of the other misfits are, that they were supposed to be a group and an alliance, and Justin did something that was very clearly anti their alliance. I think the words coming out of her mouth are, why didn't he throw it to me? But what she's really saying is, why did Justin betray the misfit alliance? That's kind of what I think it was. She was just blindsided. America can't nominate 2 weeks in a row. Oh, that's right. We can't nominate her. Duh, I totally forgot about that. There are so many rules in this game. It is not easy. Mary Wojo says the plastics are setting up the Misfits for eviction this week. Yeah, and America just helped him right out. We just gave him Danielle. Like, we put Danielle on the platter and helped him make it happen. I don't really understand why the Misfits would save Neely or Chrissy. They need a strong person or two, says Netteron. Well, that's easy. The showman's is a target, and you want to keep as many targets in the house ahead of you as possible. Keeping a showman's in the house is good for all of them because people are going to want to target the showmans. It's the reason we're trying to out Morgan as a sister. Once the house knows that they have that unbreakable bond, they become a bigger target than everyone else in the house. Lori R says meat shields. Exactly, meat shields. Angel Eye says, for Justin's game, getting Danny out is the best for his game. I do not agree with that. I do not agree that getting... I'm sorry. I thought you said Jason. Yes. I think getting Danielle out is very good for Justin's game. Yes, I agree with that. I think it will make Justin and Shane closer. And I think it would put Jason more... He would be more invested into the Misfit Alliance than Danielle. But it is not good for Jason or the other Misfits because you removed a target from the house, being the showmans. Juju says, this season is just so anticlimactic. I can't get into it. Are you being sarcastic? This is the most climactic season we've ever had. This is like drama every second. This is like the plot is twisting and then gets twisted with a twisty, twistos, BB Canada, twisty, twisted, toast, twist, toast, twist. Maybe you're watching the wrong cameras. Maybe you're watching live feeds of something else. Are you watching porn again? That's not the Big Brother house. I know you can get confused at nighttime sometimes. Like, we could play a game. Is this porn or Big Brother live feeds? Big Brother live feeds. The plastics think America loves them now. Good. Just good. That's great. That's what is making this season interesting. The Misfits just thought America loved them, which is why they are so blindsided, and it is causing chaos and side alliances to form on that side of the house. We made the plastics think that we didn't like them, and then we gave them power, and now they're all going power hungry, and probably next week we're gonna rip that power away from them and give it back to the other side of the house. We are like the sick and twisted puppet masters, which is what's making the game fun. We are messy Mondaying you. Oh, Messy Monday loves me. Oh, thank you. But yeah, we are Messy Mondaying up the game. Pulling wings off. It is kind of like what we're doing. This season is the most fun I've ever had watching Big Brother. I agree. It totally is. It totally is. I know what Messy Monday is, UTSA Jennifer. Thanks to you. We have HOH-itis. Yes, Mandible. We 100% have HOH-itis. If I was HOH, this would totally be my HOH. I would be like, oh my god, my team is winning. My team is winning HOH. I think people would hate me. Who do I want to go? Danny or Shane? Shane. I would want Shane to go because, to me, it seems like of Danielle and Shane, Danielle is the bigger target for the house, or more people want Danielle out than Shane. So thinking of it on a what keeps a bigger target in the house, I would want I believe I would want Danielle to go over Shane. Shane doesn't really do a lot. Aw, thanks. Celebrate you. Thank you. I don't know what tea I'm spilling, but thank you. I want Shane to go. At least Danielle has a personality. I don't like it, but she has one. I agree. Hot Jesus ain't good for much other than being hot Jesus. And as Leslie said, he's more like, it's more like a cult leader these days. Now when I see his face, it freaks me out. Freaks me out. I pretty much think he could be like, drink my blood, misfits. And they'd be like, yes, Shane, we will drink your blood. When Danielle stays and finds out her alliance wanted her out, says Zach, I know, gonna be interesting. Shane will be a different player without Danny. I agree with that, Puppy Glitter. BB Princess said the other girls on that side want to pull Danny in and work with her. We'll see what happens. What do you think? What do you think of the Plastics plan to lie about who they're voting for? I don't think lying about what you're doing in the game of Big Brother ever works out the way people want it to work out. I just don't. I think the truth ends up coming out. It makes you seem not trustworthy. It makes you seem like people aren't going to want to work with you because they don't know what to believe about the things that you say. So personally, I don't think purposefully lying to people for something as stupid as, oh, who are we voting out on a week when you know it doesn't even really matter because you have the numbers. Stupid move. So I hope they do it. Wambulance New York City says, both sides have been pretty bitchy, but it's nice to see an all-girl alliance not be catty with each other. Did you hear the first part of your second sentence about how they have been petty and bitchy? That is what catty is. Hi, Vanessa. Vanessa says it worked for Alex with her to blame America Vote, and with everyone putting Danny up this week, it adds to it. But people know that she lied. Some of the misfits have already found out that Alex lied. I have a feeling that will come back to haunt Alex later. Thank you very much for the bars, Jasmine. Thank you. David Thielen says, I watched Danny's freak out at least 4 times today, and I laughed harder each time. Well, I know. I know that you want Jason to be safe, so I could see why you would be laughing. I thought it was interesting how Danielle's crying sounded like laughing. Like, if you couldn't see Danielle, this was... Okay, so ready? This would be like if I went like this. Everyone, I have to cry for a minute. I'll be right back. Oh! That was her crying. Like, she had tears. It wasn't like Rachel Ryan tearless crying. It wasn't like Rachel, like, with no tears at all. Like, she had tears, so she was legitimately crying. It just sounded like laughing. I was like, that's weird. Why do you have laugh cry? I laugh when I'm upset. Like, I get it, because I will laugh when I am sad, when I am, like, upset, or something that doesn't call for laughing. I will always laugh, but I've never, like, laughed while crying. So it's just weird. This is weird. Eric needs to be on Broadway. I don't really like New York City. It's basically like a toilet bowl. My goal was to get out of New York City, and I accomplished it. Thanks, passengers shaming for the bars. Thank you, and congratulations with being on the Ellen Show. Scott told Jason it is Shane going. Good. See? Scott has loyalty to Jason. Scott and Alex have loyalty to Jason. I think as long as Scott and Alex are in power, for now, Jason is going to be okay. Daniel Jeffrey says, good riddance, Chanel. Misfits lose a number this week. And we are closer to the plastics winning. That's just not going to happen. But keep rooting. Keep dreaming. Production ain't going to let that happen. Even if Jason somehow goes, I have a feeling production is going to want a misfit to win this game. They're not going to want a plastic to win this season. I just have a feeling, call me crazy. I don't care how we get there, but my ideal final four would be Alex, Jason, Justin, and Neely. That would be my ideal final four scenario. Because I don't want to be mean and say my ideal final two would be Jason and Justin. I'll throw in Alex in there too. I like Alex. Jason will not win. I agree. No, I don't agree that Jason will not win. I agree Jason has the hardest road to win. He has the hardest road over anyone to win. Right now, Jason can blend. As the numbers dwindle down, especially when you get to a final four, I think even when you get to a final six, it's going to be real clear to the people in that house, Jason has a built-in audience, and with America picking the winner, it'd be real stupid to let him go any further. Which is why I will say, if you are a Jason fan, you don't want to nominate him for any of those care packages until we make it to the last two. And if we feel he's in danger, we give him the double elimination one. If we feel like he's not in danger at all, we give him the fast forward to the end one. But if your goal is to have Jason win this game, don't give him any care package until the last two. It is us with all the power in this game. How do you feel about Chrissy's fake crying? It's a game. Good move. Do what you think you need to do to stay longer in the game. Wambulance says, I really wanted Chrissy to be America's nom to deflate her America Loves Me ego. She is insufferable at this point. I don't think Chrissy's insufferable. Maybe I don't watch enough feeds or cameras when Chrissy is on them. I don't really find her that insufferable. I think she's more... I want to say I think she's more fake than sincere. I don't know if I really believe that. My point is, when I watch Chrissy do her DRs, there's still part of me that feels like she's just saying what she thinks we want to hear. But I guess there was ever a time she was gonna throw the Misfits under the bus or backstab Jason, now would be the time she would do it, and she doesn't seem to be doing it. So hi, Big Zilla. Wouldn't hurt my feelings if we lost Chrissy this week. Never cared. Yeah. New Jersey Girl says, I think it's hysterical she thinks we love her so much when we're just using her. Well, she'll find out. She will find out. Who is your favorite player? Asks Jody Danielle. Duh. Who do you all think my favorite player is? Who do you all think my favorite player is? I want to see if anybody can guess who they think my favorite player is. Harmony says Jason. Minnie Sarah says Morgan. Jason. Tawana Jason. Maximus Mom says Scott. Lori Justin. BB Princess says Jason. Big Zilla says Corn Fred, Susan K, Alex, Evsphere, Justin, Kathy S, Alex. Darn, I should have made this for a prize. David Thielen says Alex. Love and Kindness says Justin. Wow. Well, it's interesting to know who knows me in this chat room. Puppy Glitter says the Crackle Bar. Ah! Miranda W. got it. My favorite player is America. My favorite player is America. All of us, we're my favorite player. Now, who's my favorite player in the game? Jason, of course. But who do I love the most this season? Merca. Jason's my ride or die, but Merca's my favorite player. Eric, do you think production wants to keep the sister twist safe? Not as much as everyone else thinks they do. Like, I think a lot of people think production is going to go all out to keep the twin twist safe. I don't think that at all, no. If that was the case, they would play to it way more, and they don't play to it. So I don't think they really care. Look, I know this might sound bad to say. I don't feel... David Thielen says America loves Jason. I agree. I don't feel like production really cares that much what happens at all this season. It's BB budget. For God's sakes, on live DRs, an intern types a piece of paper and thumbtacks it to the wall with questions to read. The hosts of the competition get a cue card to read shit off of. The competition today, did you not see the wonderful set? It was director's chairs and a red curtain. Production is not invested because you see... Unlike when the show is on television and they have to do stuff like make sponsors and advertisers happy, they already got your money. We already signed up for the feeds. They already have our money. They could do nothing, or they could do everything. They already got the money. They know what they're working with. So, the only reason I think they would be invested in someone winning is I feel like I could see if I was a producer on Big Brother, the person I would want to win would be the person with the, like, let's say, biggest social media following, so that when they come out, they can talk up Big Brother over the top for next season. So for me, that would mean Jason. That's really the only benefit I see of why production could be invested in this season. Otherwise, they got money. They don't need to please advertisers, because I will say this, just a conspiracy theory. I'm just throwing out a theory. This is in no way based on my education of radio and television production or working for places like MTV. Networks make money from advertisers. Advertisers pay more or less money based on demographics and whether you are lacking or not lacking in a demographic. So, let's say there was a season of Big Brother on where there was a gay guy, a dad with a kid, and a minority that's not gay. Let's say an Asian. And Big Brother was lacking in marketing sales to gay people. It would behoove them to have the gay person be featured more that season and hopefully win to entice advertisers that are promoting gay products. If that makes sense. So, there's that. You can read in between those lines. Behoove, great word. Thanks, Miss Man Cougar. The Misfits can keep Shane and Danielle and keep the numbers on their side. Well, anybody that stays is keeping the numbers on their side. Is that why we get a majority of Southerners for Big Brother Over the Top? No. I don't think so. But I can say the season that Derek won, they were definitely lacking two specific things: a younger audience, bring in Frankie Grande, and they were lacking on ad sales to places like Johnson & Johnson and things that catered to families. For example, on Derek's season, those are the two markets they really needed to bring up for ad sales. So it was interesting that on that season we got a Frankie Grande and Derek. Just saying. Does Kentucky have the interwebs? No, they don't. They're like a third world country in America, I'm pretty sure. Who do you think has the best gameplay? Right now I would say Justin is probably playing the game the best, because I think he's acting like he doesn't understand things. People are buying it. He's playing both sides. People are allowing him, and he's winning competitions as well. So I think right now Justin all around is playing the best game. Are they voting in the election? In the House? No. I mean, they could have sent in an absentee ballot, I suppose. Or maybe they'll let them. I don't know. I doubt it. Time to wrap this up. Yes, it is, in about 5 minutes or so. Probably Jeffsy. Probably. Who's your favorite from last season? Victor. Let's just go with Victor. I can't remember half the people from last season at this point. Let me tell you, though, before I forget, Monty will be on tomorrow night right here at 7 p.m. Eastern. And on Friday, for you BB18 fans, Paulie and Zakia will be on at 7 p.m. Eastern. So, and I feel like I have one other person coming on this week. That'll be a surprise, because I can't remember at the moment. Anyway, is Scott Morgan Alex's brother? I have no idea. Thanks for the warning. Did you hear Whitney ask Scott if Maine was 4 hours ahead of California? She knew Kentucky was 3 hours. No. See you next week. Where are you going, Maximus Mom? Oh, no, not Devon, but good point. Keep tweeting Devon. She said she wants to do shows this week. I've DM'd her. I just don't want to annoy her. Like, I've DM'd her a few times. She has the DMs for me waiting. Like, anytime you're ready to go, let's go. But I don't want to annoy her. She seems to be asking you guys what shows she should do this week. So feel free to tweet her and tell her to come on our show, and then I'll bring her on for you. But let me go ahead and wrap this show up for the people watching the playback. You now, chat room, you don't have to go anywhere. I'm not ending the show for you guys. Don't get tricked. All I'm going to say to the people watching this on the playback is, again, don't forget to check out yourrealityrecaps.com/BBOTT to see all of our content, cheat sheets, schedules, all these shows, all of it's at yourrealityrecaps.com/BBOTT. And of course, 24/7 live feed updates over on Twitter is at BBOTT live feeds. And the best way to help support our shows is to become a patron, make a one-time donation in PayPal, or subscribe right here in You Now. Or don't. We don't have to cover next season of Big Brother. Bye for now, everybody. I will see you guys on the playback, people. I will see you tomorrow night, Tuesday the 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern with Monty. And we'll also go over the nomination ceremony then as well. Bye for now, everybody.